Hi there and welcome to the Barbara Young channel. Welcome to my Friday Sews. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying thank you to Jen from Todayinjenssewingrooms for creating the hashtag Friday Sews. So if you'd like to see other people who are doing Friday Sews, just put that hashtag Friday Sews into the search bar, you know, up there somewhere. And you'll get to see everybody else that does hashtag Friday Sews. But of course, hang around and watch mine first. Now, what have I been doing this week? Well, one or two things, not a great deal, I have to admit. I've not been massively productive, but I have made something. But I'll show you that in a bit. First of all, I've got something else to share with you. Now, a little while ago, not too long ago, I was having a chat with my very good friend Anna. And at the time she was sorting out fabrics and materials, but also offcuts and scraps and stuff. And she asked me, would I be interested in a few bits and pieces? And I was like, yeah, of course. Now I know I've already got a lot of scraps, because we all do, don't we? We all have those little offcuts and those scrap pieces that we left over from projects, you know, like a big bag full of it. So why on earth would I have more bits and pieces to be sent to me? Well, my thought was, well, there might be bits of stuff that's quite interesting. Things, you know, fabrics and materials and textures and prints that I've not got, that I've never used, I've never seen, you know. So it's a nice insight into materials that Anna has used in the past. So I thought, yeah, why not? Yeah. So she did. She sent me a little package with some materials in it. So I thought I would share that with you. So without further ado, let's have a quick look at what I got sent. And like I say, it is like offcuts and scrap bits and little remnant pieces. So there's nothing big here at all. You know, it's all small bits. So it's going to make me think about how I might want to use these pieces. So first of all, let's just go and have a look at them, eh? I'll start with this bit of cord, bit of corduroy by the looks of it, bit of cord, a nice sort of light beigey cord, almost neutral colour, isn't it? So yeah, that's quite nice. And actually, there's a nice little piece there. You know, it's not really small. So I've got, you know, a nice bit there. So a bit of cord, that's nice, and it feels nice and soft. That is, it's real lovely. Now, I've got some really small bits here. They almost look like linen pieces or muslin pieces, and they really are just little pieces, offcut pieces. But yeah, I don't sure find a use for them. I've got some of this Hessian stuff. Now, I've got some of this stuff, but in green. So yeah, so I've even got scraps of stuff like that. Then we've got this little bit of pink fleecy stuff, which is, I find a little bit strange because Anna's not one who's into pink, but here we are with a bit of pink. But it's quite nice. It's only a little piece, but it's lovely and soft. A little bit of, it feels like suede or leatherette sort of stuff, but it probably is faux leather, I would imagine, because that's how it feels. That's how it looks on the edging, because it's got a little fray on there. So it is definitely a faux leather. Then I've got this stuff, which actually looks like satin type material, you know, something you make a nice dress out of, with a little bit of, like, you know, the overlay stuff that you'd put on a nice dress. Yeah, and that's very nice. I like that. That's really lovely. So yeah, again, only tiny little scraps. So I mean, could be used to accent something. Then I've got some bit of green. This green looks like it is probably just some nice cotton. Some ordinary cotton, a couple of pieces there. Yeah. And then I've got this nice, it looks like it's white, but it looks like it's got a slight hint of blue in there. I don't know if that's just because the light in here or not, but it feels like a cotton canvas. Again, a nice little piece of cotton canvas. And then we've got this lovely looking material. And again, I've only got a real small little piece of this stuff. That's brilliant. I love that. That's an absolutely brilliant print. I love that. That's really nice. But again, I've only got a small amount. This is almost something that I could use to make a little pocket or a pocket lining. Say like a patch pocket for a shirt, or a little pocket that's in a bag, like one of my bags that I make. Yeah, if there was enough there to just line the pocket, that would be really nice, because that would be a nice pattern colour. Then we've got this bit of red with white dots, so it's like polka dot. It's quite vibrant, isn't it? And there's a little piece there. There's a little bit more than just a tiny cut scrap piece there, so there's a little bit more of that. That's nice. That feels like a cotton. Again, things like this, I'm thinking, you know, pocket linings and patch pockets, and just as a contrasting piece to something else, maybe a collar or something, you know what I mean, when you can use that just to contrast something. So if you've got something else that I'm making, especially if it's got a good contrast that'll work with, then yeah. Then we've got this, which is like an animal print thing, like, you know, I'm not sure it's meant to be like tiger or something. It's a bit odd. It's a bit weird. Not sure what I would do with that bit. Yeah, never mind. And then we've got some floral, another little scrap piece. Again, pockets, cuff, or something. It's a nice contrast. And that's the thing I think with all this type of stuff, and with all my scraps, is that you can use them to do contrasting pieces, especially when you stop and think about what you're making, think, have I got something that can make this just a little bit more jazzy, make it brighter? I would think, have a look through your scraps and your offcuts and your end bits, and just see what it is that you might be able to match up with that particular project. And we've got this. Now again, this feels a bit like a cotton canvas type thing, and this has got vegetables and stuff on it. That's really funky. I like that. Again, I'm thinking bags and parts on bags. Then we've got this stripy one, a nice stripy piece. Look at that. That's really quite vibrant. I like that. And then we've got something that's a little bit different. I've got this piece, and this is like, you know, stretchy sort of jersey knit stuff. Bit of jersey knit stuff, you know, it's got a stretch in one way, not quite so much in the other way. But look, it's very much like bedding, like bedtime wear, wouldn't you? You'd make some bedtime wear with it. Of course, I've not got a lot of it, so I'm not quite sure what I would do with it. Sure, I could have a real hoot with making something from this, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what I would do with that piece. And carrying on with the animal theme, we've got this piece that's got rabbits on it. Now this feels like a cotton poplin. It's a cotton for sure, I think. A sort of medium to heavyweight cotton. It's very nice, feels very nice, and got these lovely bunny rabbits on him. As long as they're nice and friendly bunny rabbits and not, you know, wild, aggressive and you know, overexcited bunny rabbits that are likely to attack you. But yeah, hopefully lovely bunny rabbits. But yeah, that's nice. I like that. Yeah, trying to think what you might use it for. Again, I'm thinking bags and pockets and contrasts. Anyway, moving on. Got this little bit of what we call dog tooth, isn't it? Or hound's tooth, some people call it. This feels like a polyester. Could be a polyester mix, but it does feel like a polyester. I found that a lot of these bits with this print on is polyester, but it's nice. Again, a nice contrasting piece. And then we've got this black with white dots. Again, this feels very much like a polyester. It could be a viscose, but it feels very much like a polyester. But that's quite nice. I got a bigger piece of this. Yeah, I got a little bit more of this, and I definitely got a slightly bigger piece of this. So yeah, it's quite nice. I like that. And then we've got this really lovely piece here. This is so nice. This floral blue, almost like a blue flower, doesn't it? Cool. That's really nice. And again, I got a little bit more of this. It's a slightly bigger piece, so I could make a more contrasting section. I mean, let's say if I was making a shirt, I might be able to get the yoke out of this. You know, like the back yoke when you have a contrasting yoke piece. Yeah, it's that sort of thing that I think of when I've got pieces like this. So that is absolutely lovely. Feels like a cotton poplin, so that's really nice. And moving on to the next bit, which is really quite funky. I like this. This is brilliant. This like seaside one where you've got lighthouse and anchors and seagulls on it, and that on there, and boats. That is just brilliant. I like that. That's so nice. I like that. And again, I've got a little bit more of this slightly bigger piece. So again, I can use it for more contrasting sections and panels on a make. But again, that's felt like a cotton. So that's really nice. And then last of all, I've got this bit, which is yellow with white spots. Now that is really nice. That is really nice. I like that a lot. Now, the other thing about this yellow piece is that I've actually got quite a reasonable amount there. So I could, if I was careful, actually get a full garment out of that. It depends what the garment is and how well I can cut it. Wouldn't be anything big at all. Like maybe a short sleeve top of some sort, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to have a real good look as to what I could make out of it. But that is really nice. And again, it feels like it's a cotton, like a cotton poplin or something like that. So yeah, that's really nice. I like that a lot. And then last of all, I've got these few pieces of like faux leather stuff. It's like, you know, and it's cut into a strip. So it could be cut up and maybe turned into a bit of binding of some sort. I've got another couple of bits here. So yeah, so those could be used for binding. So there you go. There is a pile of sort of end pieces and scraps, as it were, that yeah, could be used for a whole number of different things. I must admit, one of the things I'm thinking of doing is making a blanket. You know, sort of quilted sort of blanket type thing, and also using my scraps, so a combination of the two, and make a nice blanket. And of course, blankets normally have when it's cold, so if I'm making it and get started with it sooner rather than later, then I can make it during the summertime, and then hopefully the length of time that it takes me to do, I'll have it done ready for next winter. So I don't have to feel like I'm rushing it, which will be brilliant. So yeah, so there's a whole number of different things I could be using these amazing scrap pieces for, and also starting to get and use my scrap pieces as well, because they've definitely built up a bit. Now, besides the bits of material that I was sent, Anna also sent me some patterns. So let's have a quick look at what I got. So first up is New Look 6750, which is a brilliant sort of wrap dress. I like the look of that. Some nice styling on there. Second up is Simplicity 9265, which is a nice sort of summery drapey dress. Sort of thing I would do with this is I'd probably shorten up the sections of them so it wasn't as long, because I'm not into quite that length. So for me, if it was just past the knee, would be nice, but with something like that, it's got a lot of swish and drape to it, so that's really nice. Next up is Simplicity 9653, which is the prairie dress. That is really cute. I really like that, really lovely. Almost think that you could wear that, make it with some lightweight cotton lawn or something like that, shorten it a little bit, not too much, but a little bit, and it could almost be like a nightie, couldn't it? You know, it is really nice. I really do like that. It's a lovely pattern. Next up is Simplicity 9380. Now this one is made for material with a slight stretch to it, and I think one of the patterns, one of the views, does actually have a hoodie as well. So that's really quite nice, isn't it? That funky one that the model's wearing is like something you'd relax in, you know, you'd have a nice sort of relaxed sort of sit around, lounge around in the living room, on the sofa or whatever sort of garment. It looks really, really nice. I like that. Next up is a new look, 6262. This is a lovely basic summer dress. That is really nice. I really like that. A nice gorgeous little summer dress with gathered skirts, A-line sort of skirt that sort of swishes out a bit. It could be worn, made with or without like little sleeves. So that is really nice. I like that. It's a really nice sort of summery basic dress that's going to be really quite nice. Next up is the Simply So Grace dress, and again it's like a summer dress, very similar to the other one, the new look, is it? Yeah, to the new look, but a little bit different. You do have the gathering in there on the skirt. I love the way that sits. But you can also make this as just a skirt. It's got it for a skirt, of which you can do anyway with most of these types of patterns. As long as you learn the sort of basics of getting a waistband made, then you can sort of just make the skirt section whenever you feel like, rather than the whole dress. But yeah, another summery dress or a summery skirt, really nice. I like that. That's really lovely. I do like that style of sort of gathered in or pleated skirts. I do like them. And the last one is the McCall's 7900, which is this top. Now I really like this one. This is a really lovely, lovely top. This is just so nice. So many different variations you can do, longer sleeves, shorter sleeves, you know, there's a little bit of frill on there on the shoulder section on a couple of them, or we can do it more plainly like the bottom one. But I do love that styling, and there's a certain amount of tailoring in there, so I think that's going to be brilliant. I really do actually look forward to trying to have a go at that one for sure. Yeah, so there we go. That is, grab them all again. Let's have a look. See, seven patterns there. Absolutely brilliant. So that is really, really nice, isn't it, to have some patterns as well. So yeah, so thank you very much, Anna, for the material and the patterns. It's very kind of you. Now, I did say that I had actually made something this week. It is actually a hat, and it is this one, this lovely green hat. Now, this is using that ancient craft and technique of Nalbinding, or in English, needle binding. So yeah, I've been working on this a little bit, doing a bit each day, doing a bit here and there. And I decided to push on and get it made. So there we go, one hat made. So yeah, I quite like that. I love the colour. It's called forest green. So I suppose what I ought to do is put it on. But because the way the hat sits, I'll have to take my hair down and just have it like that. Because when I put this on, there we go, nice comfy hat. Yeah, and it's warm because it is 100% wool. Fantastic, I like that. That's really nice, and it fits real well. I'm getting better at judging what sort of I need to make it fit, to have a little bit of stretch in it, but also at the same time be fitting enough that it's not going to move around. And as you can see, this comes down enough that it covers both my ears and my neck a bit, but has a little bit of space in the top there, so it's not tight on my head at all, which is really nice. The other thing about this is that the way I envisaged it, and it has come out quite well, is that if I just take it up a little bit, if I can, so it's just over the top of my ears, you can see it's sort of got a bit room up the top there, but the idea is that I pull it over to one side like so, I suppose, a bit like you'd get from a beret, because that's how I envisioned it, to be a little bit of a beret style hat. So there you go. So I can wear it like that. If I don't want my ears covered, of course, if it gets a bit cold, my ears need covering, I can just pull it down a bit more and it will cover my ears, and that will be just fantastic. So there we go. But that was how I wanted it, like that. I could make it bigger, so I get a bigger, as it were, crown part before I bring it down to make the rest of it, make the sort of side pieces. That way it'll flop over even more and you get even more of that beret sort of look to it. But this is pretty much how I wanted it, and it fits really nicely. It feels lovely and warm. So yeah, all in all, a great make. It takes a bit longer to do something like this. You know, if I did it in knitting, I'd probably be quicker. But actually, the more I do this needle binding, the quicker I get at the technique. And I think that our ancient ancestors wouldn't have actually been that slow at doing this craft, this technique. I think if it was something they were doing predominantly all the time for making their things like their hats and their mitts and maybe socks and stuff, then they would actually be reasonably quick at doing it. It's a bit like any craft. The more you do it, the more you practice it, the quicker you're going to get. So yeah, there we go. There's my green beret, I suppose. But it's just a hat. It's a woolly hat. So there we go, my green woolly hat. So there you go. That was my week. You could say it was sort of unproductive, but I've got a hat. I know that the weather's improving and we're sort of moving into spring now and winter's almost done with. We do still get some cold nips and, you know, a little bit of frost and that at this time of year still. So still need a hat, you know. And obviously it's made now, so I've got it for next winter for when it gets cold again. And the UK weather is notoriously fickle, so when we think it should be really nice and it ends up being really horrible, I do have my hat. Marvellous. I do like this hat. It's really lovely. So there we go. That was it. That and some prezzies, you know, some scraps and patterns, and that, yeah, that was my week. So ideas running through my head now. What can I do with them? What can I make? What can I make that I can add those things into? But it's also, what can I make that I can start to add these things into this big stack of scraps as well. I really ought to be thinking more about the scraps and the offcuts and the end bits. How can I utilise them better to really use them up and not just let them sit there or waste them? So I'm going to be a bit more forethought about my projects going on through this year. So hopefully I'll be a bit more adventurous in what I make. But there you go. Food for thought, as it were. So I'll get there anyway. But yeah, that was my week. So there you go. So I think that's about it from me and Dominic. So that's it, yeah. So if you like this video, please do give it a like, give that a thumbs up, subscribe. That will always get notifications of when my videos come out, especially if you click that bell icon. Please do comment. I do love reading your comments. Really nice to hear what you're doing, what your thoughts are, and also what you've been up to. And if you wish to comment between yourselves, please do, because that's why we come here, isn't it? So we can make those connections. So I think it's just left me to say thank you very much for watching my video. I look forward to seeing my next video. Bye.
Yeah.